What a thriving world of immortal cultivation. I'm squatting at the entrance of the Worry Relief General Store, watching a cultivator flying across the sky in a beam of light, my eyes full of envy. A year ago, I transmigrated. I crossed over using a level 1 newbie from the 1 rank Immortal RPG. Not even a single hair in my storage pouch. After the ups and downs, I opened this general store on the west side of Kingland City, selling low-end goods in the front, living quarters in the back. The store is called Worry Relief General Store. Worry Relief means helping people deal with corpses. A rhythmic knock comes from the back door. A smile creeps on my face. A client has arrived. I open the door to a 2-meter-tall burly man. He walks in carrying 2 huge black leather bags, thick eyebrows and big eyes, a savage and sinister look in his eyes. His whole aura is intimidating. Boss Chin, this time it's a rush job. Rush job means double the price. This is the 400 per unit rate. I squat down and open the bags. 2 corpses. One is an old man in his 50s or 60s. The other is about 40, pale face with no beard. High risk, very difficult. Triple the price again. The burly man's expression turns cold. His body grows 3 inches taller. I don't move, just sneer. Too much? These 2 are both foundation-building cultivators. You think you've cleaned everything. Waited till their spiritual energy dissipated before bringing them. I can't see through it? This clothing is made from celestial silkworm silk, using an 18-pole technique. This old guy still isn't blood deficient. You think I don't know where they're from? The burly man quickly reverts to normal. He grins and gives a thumbs up. Boss Chin, sharp as always. Triple again. It must be handled today. He obediently hands over another 600. After he leaves, I sprinkle some powder to remove the smell of blood. Drag the corpses to the backyard. In this worry relief business, it's all about dealing with defeated cultivators killed in fights. In this world of immortals, there are countless ways to trace back the killer. Every magic tool or technique leaves some mark. But when I take action, no one can track it down. I set up a table here, placed an incense burner, lit 3 sticks of incense. Seniors, if you have grudges, seek revenge. If you have hatred, get even. Just don't come for me. At least I can make sure you're buried properly. After muttering, I reached out to the old man's corpse. The moment I touched the body, white mist extended from my hand. I grabbed toward the corpse, pulled back, and now there's a gentle white orb of light in my hand. The orb dissipates. A blue booklet emitting a faint glow appears. I don't care much about the skill book. Toss it into my storage pouch. Grab toward the other corpse. This time I pull out a blood-red jade strip, 2 fingers wide. Warm and lustrous color. The richness of the blood color seems to overflow. It makes my skin crawl. I raise an eyebrow. This blood jade is called Yuhan. It's supposed to be placed in the mouth of the deceased when buried. But this one is different. It's a supreme grade of auspicious jade. When the ghost market opens, this will fetch a great price. Enough for 3 years of living. I take out the earlier skill book, Beginner Talismans. Pat my head. The blue cover shatters into specks of light. They fall into a bowl. A moment later, I open my eyes. With excitement on my face. Fortune Transference. Final Path Single Scroll. This book records 36 fortune transfer methods. And 9 final paths. All fundamentals. If this old man could get these...
He wasn't just some average guy.
I silently sigh. These 2 foundation-building cultivators are definitely tough. This money's not easy to earn. Neither is the skill book. I move the corpses into golden Nanmu coffins. After being searched, their faces are now peaceful. The blood scent is gone. It's like they've been laid to rest. Nail the coffin lids shut. Store them into my pouch. I change into another outfit. Use clay to cover my face. Lower my eyes with fake scales. Give my body a good shake. My figure shrinks by 3 inches, turning into a stooped, short old man. Slip out the side door. Blend into the crowd on the west side of the city. The gate guards are yawning. They don't pay me any attention. Leaving Kingland City, I walk half an hour down a deserted path. Up ahead, a black forest spreads out. Rows of black crows line the dead trees on the ridge, their sharp eyes fixed on me. They're all scavenging black crows from the mass grave, neither living nor dead. I light an incense stick in front of me. The crows turn their heads, avoiding me. Follow a narrow path ahead. Mist shrouds forests of gravestones. Ghostly shadows flicker here and there. Carrying the incense, I walk on. No one pays me any mind. Halfway along, a strange operatic tune drifts over from afar. At first, thin as a mosquito's hum. After a few seconds, it's clear as day. A woman's mournful and chilling voice. The resentment in it stabs straight into my head. After a few more seconds, the music is joined by sorna and gongs. Ominous and creepy. It makes my hair stand on end. I strain my eyes and look far ahead. A group of ghosts in red clothes float through the fog. Some carry a scarlet coffin as music plays. Others hold red-flowered wooden boxes. At first glance, it looks like a wedding procession. But the air is thick with gloom and sorrow. More than 20 types of spirits. All at least at key refining level 6. I'm only key refining level 6 myself. The bridal procession floats past me. Halfway along, the lead ghost holding a sign screams, fetching the bride. Heading home. Everything goes blurry. I find myself lying in a tight, confined space. I reach out to touch. Every side is sealed tight, locked inside that scarlet coffin. I lie there quietly. Outside, I can faintly hear drums and music. The opera never stops. The procession floats along. The fog clears away. An ancient-style manor appears ahead. 3 big words on the archway. Consort des Tombes. The manor is decorated and festive. Guests crowd every seat. But every guest's face is deathly pale. Smiles frozen on their faces. Incense burners sit on every table, surrounding bloody trios of heads. The auspicious hour has come. Send them to the bridal chamber. 8 pallbearers float the scarlet coffin toward the backyard. After reaching the bridal room, the bearers withdraw. I push open the coffin lid and step out. On the big bed to the side sits a woman in a red dress. Slender waistline. She looks every bit the noble lady. But as soon as I look at her, 4 words flash in my mind, 9 twists and turns. A legendary name. This woman is no different from a living person. She's a ghost soldier surpassing the ghost race. The equivalent of a Foundation establishment cultivator. Since you've come, sir, why not take a bath and change clothes? Is it because you think I'm not pretty? The she-ghost speaks. Her voice soft and seductive. A knowing glint flashes in my eyes. Sure enough, this vixen has been eyeing me from the start. She saw me the last time I came to a funeral. This isn't just bad luck. It was bound to happen eventually. Young master, why are you silent? I was just a bit dazed when I saw you, miss. I casually came up with a couple of lines of poetry. I simply made it up on the spot. Oh. The female ghost's eyes brightened instantly. I wonder if the young master would welcome me. Then listen carefully. I thought quickly. I casually borrowed 2 lines. Clouds imagine your clothes. Flowers imagine your beauty. Spring breezes brush the railing and the dew shines bright. The female ghost blushed deeply upon hearing these. Let out a soft moan. Collapsed onto the bed. Her red dress vanished. Only her underwear remained, looking like someone waiting to be pleased. My eyelid twitched. I took out a handful of scented incense, lit them and placed them in the incense burner. Spirit incense is used for ghosts. It can calm their minds and drive away evil thoughts. Any ghost wanting to go further won't recklessly devour a person's life force, or they become mindless monsters. Spirit incense is loved by cultivators who deal with ghosts. The female ghost recognizes it. Naturally, she knows what it is. For ghosts, this is truly a great thing. She flickered. I was already on the big bed. She embraced my neck. Her seductive eyes were like silk. May I ask, what is your name, miss? She replied, I'm Ku de Rong. Miss Ku, you flatter me. I kept a mourning expression. My peripheral vision glanced at the burning spirit incense. Only a third had burned. This seductive creature couldn't wait any longer. She hugged my neck again. I secretly gritted my teeth, recalling my earlier judgment. This female ghost has a twisted nature, insatiable desires. She's probably a masochist. I gritted my teeth and growled at her. Lie down. Smacked her on the back. The female ghost moaned softly. When she looked back at me, her eyes were watery. Tears were about to roll down her cheeks. I couldn't help but laugh. She really is a masochist. Young master, please stop hitting me. She said that, but her body stayed still. lying on the bed, not moving. I kept hitting her, striking her back. After more than 10 hits, the female ghost let out a low moan. Her tears finally burst forth.
Take a break.
I'm going outside to attend to the guests. I straightened my clothes, turned and walked out. The female ghost lay at the bedside, watching my back, laughing foolishly, but didn't stop me. Anyway, here, with my ability, I definitely couldn't escape. Opening the door, I saw a group of ghosts feasting in the courtyard. They all froze when they saw me. Their eyes stared at me coldly. Thank you all for coming. Let me prepare some treats for everyone. I kept a calm face and took out more spirit incense with a smile. Lit some and placed them in each table's burner. Don't be shy, everyone. None of the ghosts could resist, stretching their necks and inhaling deeply from the burners. After a short while, they began to stumble and sway. One after another, they collapsed. I glanced at the incense burned out in the burners. 23 sticks of spirit incense, plus 1 Bodhi incense mixed in. Over 2,000 first-grade spirit stones. 40 days of profit gone just like that. But I gained a lot too. I smiled secretly, walking around the courtyard. I gathered storage pouches from each ghost, collected them all. Low-level ghost clan average 50. Mid-level 200, high-level 500. As I picked them up, I calculated. Couldn't help but grin. Made a huge profit this time. Went back to the backyard. Saw the female ghost sleeping soundly on the bed. Feeling sorry, I sighed. It's a shame she's already at the ghost soldier stage. An urn can't restrain a ghost soldier. At least 3,000 spirit stones to start. What a pity. I casually took the embroidered purse the female ghost left aside, wrote a note on the storage pouch, and left it on the table. Then walked out. Knowing when to stop is key to lasting longer. Being too greedy can cost your life. Leaving the manor. At the door, a few ghosts were still passed out on the ground. They're too weak. Not worth collecting. Lit a stick of cleansing incense. I strode off, running hard. Soon the manor vanished behind me and was replaced by a creepy, eerie tomb. A tall, small stone arch stood nearby, with 3 big characters reading Princess Defei. Princess Defei paused a bit, put the thought aside, quickly left, reached the edge of the ghost tomb under the old locust tree, found a spot and buried the 2 customers, finished everything, and hurried away, went around to the south of the city, and arrived at a secluded coffin shop. Old black ghost, my harvest. An old man emerged from the back wearing funeral clothes, his face gloomy, surrounded by eerie aura. He doesn't seem alive. He's a professional middleman for ghost trading.
Has a good reputation.
I placed the urn on the table. Old black ghost rested his hand on the urn. After a few moments, his drooping eyelids suddenly lifted, gave me a wary look, and revealed a sinister smile. Big business, huh? Let's price it. Low-level ghost clan, 163. Mid-level, 32. High-level, 9 to 181,000. And I'll throw in a free piece of advice. How about that? Deal. Straightforward. My advice is, you'd better not go to the Yinhuai ghost tomb again. Otherwise, your death will be ugly. My face turned grim. I took out another 1,000 spirit stones and put them in his hand. Old black ghost pocketed the spirit stones. Even the wrinkles on his face seemed to smooth out a bit. Little brother, you really know how to do business. These ghosts have special marks on them. They're under the command of the Ghost King Duol. You wiped out one of their bases in a single swoop. That's okay outside. But as long as you step into the Yinhuai ghost tomb. I let out a dry laugh, cupped my fist and thanked him, then turned and left. Finally, I understand where the name Defei comes from. That unsatisfied female ghost is the Ghost King's daughter. Taking down the ghost house of the king's daughter is way more serious than hitting a base. Good thing I changed my appearance to make the deal. Took the side path back to West City. Burned my clothes and wig. Removed the disguise. Once again, I looked like the owner of a general store. Open for business. Across the street, tavern manager Li Gang was making tea at the door. Boss Chin, you're opening early today. Manager Li, you went to bed early last night. Anything happen? A massacre. The entire Sanshan gang was wiped out overnight. Not a single survivor left. People from Wanyong trading firm did it. The Sanshan gang broke the rules. They took what they shouldn't have. My heart gave a lurch. The third leader of the Sanshan gang was that big lug who came to me for relief last night. What about the city guards? They don't give a damn. The Wanyong trading firm crew is still around. Now 2 more disciples from the Wuliang Taoist Academy showed up. Almost got into a fight. The Sanshan gang's turf has been cordoned off. Nobody's even touching the corpses. I forced a dry laugh, turned back to my shop. Just what was it those 2 clients fought over that left both sides ruined? If it was something ordinary, would Wanyong trading firm and Wuliang Taoist Academy be this desperate? Damn, no wonder that big lug was so quick to close the deal last night. They really got their hands on something. No customers. So I went to the backyard to test the new blessing of luck I just unlocked. After experimenting with the blessing of luck, I was just about to meditate and restore my true energy when suddenly, the shop door exploded into splinters with a bang. Behind the flying debris, a large foot slowly stepped down. The intruder wore a dark blue long robe. In his 20s, with a wand character embroidered on his belt. You're the shop owner? You used to handle corpses, right? The young man waved in front of his nose, looking utterly disgusted. So you really are a corpse handler? Judging by your look, you're not much better than a corpse yourself. He tossed out a line, turned and walked out. 2 servants rushed in behind, chasing after him. Kid, you're lucky. That's Manager Kiyu from Wanyong Trading Firm. He's got work for you. Come on, 3100. As soon as he finished, the servant was already next to me. By the look on his face, if I said no, he'd drag me out by force. He means you. What are you spacing out for? The other servant snickered. Enough, this guy's spiritual power is weak. Barely 2nd layer of oxygen. Doesn't recognize 3100. Makes sense. The 2 servants grabbed my shoulders and dragged me out. I didn't resist. Just let them haul me away. Outside were 7 more people. All had handled corpse work in West City. I smiled bitterly to myself. The Wanyong trading firm didn't even investigate. Just went full brute force. Dug up every corpse handler in West City. Luckily, I was last in line. Looking pale, with very weak spiritual energy. Especially unnoticeable among the corpse handlers. The strongest was a pockmarked guy at the 4th layer of oxygen. No one bothered with him. Suddenly, another handler joined the group. The pockmarked guy at the oxygen 4th layer was pretty chatty.
He sidled up to me.
Looking shifty-eyed, and spoke in a low voice. New here, right, kid? I did a few days of this during the plague last year, but quit after that. I made something up casually. Thought so. This time it's big business. Wanyong trading firm is paying. Ever wonder why North City is so prosperous? Because of Wanyong trading firm. They're even stronger than Wuliang Taoist Academy. He lowered his voice. That Sanshan gang bunch messed with the evil king, had the guts to double-cross. A few days back, inner disciples from Wuliang Taoist Academy tried to steal something from Master Tong of Wanyong Trading Firm. Play with fire, get burned instead. Master Tong got ambushed and badly hurt. And that's how the Sanshan gang got lucky. Lucky break. So why are we handling corpses? Wanyong Trading Firm is kind. Afraid a plague will break out again. So they're having us clean up these bastards' bodies. Just do your job right when we get there. Stick with me and learn. If you do well, maybe you can join Wanyong Trading Firm for real. I let out a dry laugh and stopped talking. If it was just handling corpses, they wouldn't pay you hundreds in spirit currency. Getting so many corpse handlers at once. This can't be simple. Half an hour later, we reached the Sanshan gang's entrance. What met our eyes was the gate shattered. Chunks of flesh scattered all over the bluestone floor inside, reeking of blood and gore. Resentment and killer auras lingered thick in the air. Over 100 people died in there. All right, get inside and clean up. A servant shouted shrilly. Everyone crept in, scared stiff. I took out my tools to get started. That big lug's pile of flesh, his was the worst. Completely torn apart. His head was literally split in 2. I gathered pieces of the bodies into bags. With one hand, I discreetly reached inside the bag and activated my skill. A faint white orb of light landed in my palm. I didn't think too much, just slapped it onto my forehead. My step faltered a bit. It wasn't a skill book. It was 3 map fragments. They appeared crystal clear in my mind. A flash of inspiration hit me. This is what Wanyong Trading Firm and Wuliang Taoist Academy are after. I kept collecting corpses with the others. The higher status they had, the worse their deaths. None of them died whole. The pockmarked guy called me to help piece together bodies. Perfect chance to use my skill again, when no one was around. I activated my skill among the corpses. 12 little white light orbs appeared at once. I crushed them all. The broken map in my mind began to automatically complete. Out of 40-some fragments. Within moments, there were only 5 pieces missing from the whole map. The mountains, rivers, and building complexes were all clearly marked. It was so detailed it looked like a miniaturized copy. Those buildings were much grander than anything in Kingland City. The rivers looked just like the divine runes of luck. But I still couldn't tell where it was. Definitely not near Kingland City. An hour later, hey, kid, check this out. See this tattoo? Doesn't it look like a palace? The pockmarked guy held up a severed leg, looking thoughtful. My eyes narrowed. The Sanshan gang bastards tattooed the map onto themselves. No wonder all I was getting was map fragments. I turned to look at another corpse. A green dragon on his back. Below the tattoo, the dragon's claw grips a mountain surrounded by a river. It's also a piece of the map. My heart skipped a beat. Damn, got killed by the Three Mountains gang. Wanyong Trading Company is ruthless. Everyone here who saw these tattoos can make money but won't live to spend it. I found the item. Scarface suddenly let out a howl. A servant burst in from outside. He pointed at the tattoo and rambled on. Jalsi's eyes instantly lit up.
He dashed out.
Scarface excitedly patted my shoulder. Kid, if this is useful. The 100 snacks you promised me. Forget it. I'll just treat it as a reward for you. I gave a forced laugh, wishing I could strangle him. I was still thinking about how to get away unharmed. But with his interference, that's out the window. Soon, Steward Q came in from outside. Scarface eagerly leaned in. Explained everything in a few words. I noticed a glint in Steward Caillou's eyes. He reached out and brushed over the tattoo. His whole body trembled slightly. Finally found it. He glanced at the severed limbs and remains, and revealed a slight smile. Well done. The reward is multiplied by 10. Now, piece this thing together for me. Complete the whole picture, and I'll double it again. Scarface was practically floating. 20 times the reward. Over 10,000 spirit stones. However, the tavern keeper sneered. I don't trust any of you. An intense aura suddenly burst from him and pressed down hard on everyone. The late Foundation establishment pressure made everybody shudder. Frozen in place, he casually tossed something. A dozen or so silver snakes shot out, coiling around everyone's necks. A crackling sound, turning into silver rings, locked tightly. This thing is called Kikao. The moment it senses any true essence, it'll explode with a bang. It tightens a little every day. In a week, it'll strangle you to death. I'm the only one holding the matching key. Looking at the group of corpse collectors pale with fear, their bodies trembling like leaves, he nodded in satisfaction. As long as you finish the job, your reward will be doubled again. The Wanyong Trading Firm never mistreats those loyal to their work. The crowd, terrified, immediately pledged their loyalty. They stammered their promises, while more people's eyes lit up with excitement. They couldn't wait to piece the map together right away. Steward Q left, satisfied. No one was left to guard us. It seemed we could relax. I touched the Kikao lock on my neck and gave a bitter, silent laugh. Do these fools really think that knowing this secret means they'll happily walk away with the money and their lives? I have to escape tonight, or there will never be another chance. Night falls at the Sanshan Gang Manor. A group of corpse collectors eagerly pieced the map together. They only stopped for a short break halfway through. I chose a side room at the edge of the group's quarters. A homemade calming incense stick was placed in the incense burner, set before the door. As the incense began to burn, a thin blue smoke curled and lingered in the air, spreading along the walls, draping the room in a thin mist. When snores rose all around, I closed the door, lifted my robe, revealing dozens of storage pouches sewn on the inside. I took out 4 autumn cicada talismans and placed them on each wall of the room. A faint ripple of energy shimmered. The sounds from outside instantly dropped by half, Anyone listening outside now wouldn't hear a thing from inside the room. After confirming all was good, I took out a slender lock-picking kit, reached up to the kikao lock on my neck, closed my eyes and felt it carefully. Then I gently tapped the silver ring with a needle, producing a light metallic clang as the structure shifted. I visually deduced the arrangement and found the keyhole. This silver ring is called kikao. Its core is a special variant. The kikao lock requires all 7 key points to be found simultaneously. I braced myself in front of the mirror, holding a fine needle, a bent spoon, and thin iron wires, and slowly eased them into the keyhole bit by bit. My fingers moved slightly, constantly adjusting their position. After the time it takes to make tea, my forehead was dripping with sweat, yet my body was stiff as if a stone pressed on my breath. With another gentle twist of my finger, the silver ring around my neck clicked and split open. It hung like a silver dead snake around my neck. I took off the kikao lock. I sat down, gasping for breath, a smile at my lips. Who would have thought that tonight's lifesaver would be my most looked down upon lock-picking skills? Next, I'd need another barely passable little skill. I brought out a recently acquired corpse, a young man in his 20s with a physique close to mine. I lit 3 incense sticks and placed them in front of the body. Taking a deep breath, I began kneading and tapping the joints and acupoints of the corpse. With a series of pops and crackles, the corpse's joints loosened up completely, pressing up along the spine. I gave the corpse's forehead a gentle slap. Instantly, its mouth opened wide, and a puff of dark gray death energy and resentment escaped. The once rigid body became soft and flexible, the iron blue skin returning to a normal hue. This is a corpse collector's special skill, driving out the corpse's death energy, temporarily preventing corpse transformation. Now, I had to make this corpse look a bit more like me. I fastened the kikao lock around the corpse's neck, secured the silver ring, and locked it back on. I dressed the corpse in my clothes, then used disguise techniques to adjust the details. A moment later, aside from a different face, nobody could tell our bodies apart. I nodded in satisfaction. Meanwhile, in a courtyard across from the Sanshan gang, Steward Q was sitting with a pale-faced, beardless young man. They sat face to face. There shouldn't be any problem sealing off the information this way. The young man held his teacup, his brows furrowed slightly. This is the best way for now. Outsiders would think we still got nothing. Those dirt-grubbing workers did a good job with skinning and handling. The pieced-together map is excellent. Can we use the tattooed map? It's not as fine as the original, admittedly, but there's no major deviation overall. The place we're headed is where the Daoist Zixao did his artwork. No matter how detailed the map, it won't help much. In the end, strength is all that matters. Let's hope nothing goes wrong. According to what we got, back then Zixao Diojin came all the way from the Dead Sea, carrying not only a top-grade treasure, but also the Zixao Dao scripture. All perished until today. Steward Qiu exclaimed in shock. Isn't that just legend? It was never lost, just missing more than half. Even so, the ultimate classics. 4 great grades. The highest we've ever seen is high-grade Dharma level. Whether we ever witness scripture-level divine skills in our lives depends on this time. Steward Qiu suppressed his shock, eyes flickering. I've made all the preparations. By tomorrow, once the map is complete, those corpse collectors, even any servant who got involved, all of them will keep their mouths shut forever. No word will leak. Outside Qin Yang's room in the Sansheng gang, a black-clad figure crept along the ground, sliding silently to the door. A flick of the wrist, and the silk ribbon slithered through the gap like something alive, twisting around the door bolt, slowly drawing it back thread by thread. The whole process was completely silent. Qin Yang watched this scene quietly, momentarily stunned, just as I was hoping for something. And a pillow is handed to me. I was thinking about escaping earlier, but now a little thief shows up, a little chaos, and the difficulty plummets from hell to ordinary. Truly, what a wonderful person coming from afar to deliver himself. Qin Yang watched as the door bolt slowly opened, and sighed softly. The door was just about to open when he pulled down the 4 autumn cicada talismans from the walls and stuffed them into a storage pouch. He hesitated, then took out another pouch and hung it on the double's waist. It contained some tools and snacks. After finishing all this, he sat in the darkness, silently watching the door open. The door creaked open a crack. A dark shadow slid inside along the ground. The door shutting again in a blink. The shadow rose, and suddenly saw Qin Yang sitting in the corner, staring at him with an amused half-smile. One stood and one sat, locking eyes, big staring at small. For a long moment, the black-clad man rasped in a hoarse, smoky voice. Looks like one river overflowed into the Dragon King's temple. Didn't know there was a fellow on the same path here. I broke the rules this time. Allow me to apologize to you first. Please give me a token for messaging you. Next time, I'll deliver a message for free as compensation. He raised his hand in a gesture, then stepped back. This was thieves' code. After a year in the city's west, Qin Yang couldn't possibly not understand. Just as the black-clad man was about to reach the door, Qin Yang suddenly chuckled softly. Quick thinking, huh? The black-clad man froze mid-step. I'm leaving, you stay. This was an accident. If you're not satisfied, sir, I can send 2 messengers another day. Qin Yang stood up. Suddenly, a surge of true essence erupted from his body. The substitute sensed the fluctuation through the 7 apertures on its neck, and began to slowly turn. Don't act rashly, it won't benefit anyone. The man in black's voice trembled. Did you smell the soothing incense? The man in black was momentarily stunned. There's soothing incense outside the door, and 2 kinds of formulas inside, slightly different. If you inhale both at the same time, the effect increases tenfold, Qin Yang said calmly. It's way better than your third-rate knockout powder. The man in black was secretly shocked. He did indeed feel his head getting woozy, and his body weary. Damn, I messed up in the worst way. Bro, you win.
He took out the carefully assembled human skin map.
We're both here for the map. Let's leave first. We'll discuss the rest later. Qin Yang nodded. A bright smile appeared on his lips. Got the map. That's great. Opened the door and left. The man in black went first. Qin Yang followed behind. Just as they were about to exit, the man in black paused. Bro, can you give me the antidote first? Half the map for you, alright? Qin Yang tossed him a black pill. The man in black threw over half of the human skin map. The moment Qin Yang stepped out the door, the man in black's wrist ribbon flew out instantly, wrapping around. Qin Yang grinned, twisted his wrist. 5 burning spell talismans. 5 fireball spell talismans flew out at the same time. Fireballs the size of a human head exploded, blasting the wall to pieces. The burning spell talismans turned into a raging inferno, setting everything around alight. Inside the room, the 7 apertures sensing the intense fluctuation spun rapidly. With a bang it exploded, blowing the substitute to bits. Damn you. The man in black was both shocked and furious. This time, his voice wasn't hoarse and smoky, but had a hint of sharpness. The ribbon was about to wrap around him. Qin Yang shouted loudly.
Take the map.
He swung his hand and threw the half-human skin map into the burning flames. His other hand slapped his body several times. Wind talisman, autumn cicada talisman. His figure quickly retreated. The man in black stomped his foot in anger, but couldn't bear to let the map be destroyed. The flying ribbon turned in mid-air and scooped the map back. In just a blink of an eye, Qin Yang was already nowhere to be seen. An angry shout came from outside the Sanshan gang. Steward Qiu flew over on a sword at high speed. The man in black looked up, about to bite through his own teeth with rage. Steward Qiu is in the late Foundation establishment stage. He has several magical artifacts armed to the teeth. At the same time, explosions rang out. Flames blazed. One by one, corpse collectors burst out from their slumber. The map was gone. A shrill scream came from the crowd. Steward Qiu, still in midair, heard it. His face turned green on the spot. You little thief, you're dead? A flash of sword light tore through the night sky. In a moment, it reached the backyard, heading straight for the man in black's face. The man in black was scared out of his wits. He rolled away to the side. The green sword light pierced through. The walls of houses stretching dozens of yards behind them were all split in half like cut by a giant blade. Damn you. It's not over between us. The man in black cursed angrily and turned to run. Corpse collectors roared and charged forward, cutting off someone's fortune. is like killing their parents, let alone their lives are in someone else's hands. The man in black shook his arm, slipping out of the crowd as if greased. His figure flickered. He twisted his waist upon landing and dashed out of the crowd. He took out the half map, his eyes full of distress. Gritting his teeth hard, he spat out his true essence, shattering it into more than a dozen pieces, and tossed many pieces in all directions, directly toward the sea of fire. This was learning on the spot, copying Qin Yang's move. Flying Steward Q was shocked. No time to chase him.
He hurriedly reached out to grab.
True essence surged forth, just as he was about to seize the shards before they entered the fire. The man in black ran out, glanced with his peripheral vision, and his heart sank. Steward Q was just too strong, collecting the pieces too quickly. He had no time to flee. Once again gritting his teeth, heart aching as if bleeding, he balled up the remaining fragments and scattered them in all directions. After doing all this, he didn't look back, dove into the complex alleys, and disappeared. Moments later, Steward Ku's face was ashen. After collecting all the fragments,
He quickly pieced them together.
made sure nothing was missing, and finally breathed a sigh of relief. Have you found out the details? A servant came over, found out. That little thief snuck in during the fourth watch. Don't know where he got his information. He was unlucky. Ran into the newbie. The newbie couldn't sleep. Discovered him but was unfortunately killed by Kikau. Steward Q waved his hand darkly. Go and deal with all these corpse collectors. While there's a fire, burn the whole house down. The attendant responded and withdrew. Before long, a dozen explosions sounded in the residence. The sea of fire spread, quickly engulfing the entire building. In a small courtyard in the city south, the man in black climbed out from a dried well, removed his black cloth, twisted his body slightly,
His figure expanded a size.
and turned into a chubby, fair-faced guy. He furrowed his brow, panting heavily, body trembling with anger. To fail so miserably, damn it. Kid, your fat lord will remember you. This was the resting place of Taoist Ziai Zhao. A great opportunity gone just like that. The little fat guy trembled with rage, his flab shaking all over. At the border of the city west and south, Qin Yang had already arrived at another two-entry courtyard. Changed into new clothes, pinched his cheeks and nose bridge. His bones cracked with a series of pops. His height changed. His appearance changed. With the disguise complete, he became a naive-looking young man. He lit a lamp and stepped out the door. The neighbor called out to him. Brother Wang, you're up too? Uncle Li, what caught fire over there? Looks like it's on the Sanshin gang's side. Those wicked people can't even rest in peace after death. Qin Yang chuckled kindly, turned and went back in, closed the door and lay on the bed. The previous owner of this little place was surnamed Wang, died during last year's plague. I buried him properly. After learning disguise and bone shrinking, I took on this new ID. A cunning rabbit needs 3 burrows. Didn't expect to use it within a year. Early the next morning, Wanyang Trading Company's guard team stormed from the north to the west of the city. Steward Q stood in the street with a gloomy face. His hawk-like eyes swept back and forth, seeing everyone as a thief. They found all the map fragments, but after piecing them together, the edges didn't quite fit. The missing part was very small. But who knows if that cracked place was the key, with a mistake made. Someone had to take the blame. Wanyang Trading Company sent out guard teams and threw money around in the city west, hiring local thugs to seek out anyone suspicious, telling people a thief stole their new goods. The whole city was in a stir. But that had nothing to do with Qin Yang. Early in the morning, the thugs knocked on his door, recognized Brother Wang, the honest local kid who grew up here, and didn't pay much attention. Qin Yang cheerfully saw the ruffian off, then followed the crowd to check out the commotion. He strolled along to the city south. Figured he couldn't use his city west shop identity for now. Thinking of that map in his mind, Qin Yang felt itchy with excitement. More importantly, he'd just barely escaped death. If he didn't get revenge, his mindset would definitely blow up. He couldn't fight head-on. Best to sneak into the place marked on the map, snatch the treasure, and let those people go through all that trouble for nothing. Let them get so mad they run crazed. Well, that's just an idea. Right now he's only key condensation level 6. He'd been too poor before to even afford keep hills. If he went now, he'd just be cannon fodder. Qin Yang shook his head, sighing. He patted his money pouch, feeling a little more confident. Better buy some pills in the city south and raise his cultivation first. Buy some artifacts to arm himself. He hurried all the way to the city south, found the shady shop he remembered. In a secluded spot, not a living soul on the street, he stepped in. Inside was a half-dead young man, who glanced up at him. Buying or selling, what do you have? The youth's eyelids drooped. Qin Yang grinned, and slapped all the storage bags he hadn't dealt with before onto the table. 128 in total. Can you handle that many? The young man instantly straightened his back. He widened his eyes and stared at Qin Yang. More than 100 storage pouches. Spirit City. When did such a crazed master thief show up here? The quality of these low-grade storage pouches isn't bad. I'll give you 400 each. That's a total of 51,200. I'll round it up to 52,000. No problem. The young man moved quickly. In a flash, he put away all the storage pouches. He handed over a small cloth pouch. Inside were grade 3 spirit stones about the size of a fingernail. The color was much deeper than grade 1 spirit stones. He put away the cloth pouch. Qin Yang turned and walked out. Just as he stepped outside, he saw a chubby guy with a familiar face. The chubby guy strode in. Qin Yang glanced at the chubby guy. The chubby guy made an ancient hand gesture to the shopkeeper. It was the same gesture he'd seen just last night, used to announce one's identity. Qin Yang narrowed his eyes. This guy is nothing like that skinny thief from last night. How does he know this gesture? The original owner of this gesture has been dead for ages, and I'm the one who buried him. That lock-picking skill book came from the body of the original owner of this gesture. Now he's run into 2 imposters in a row. That can't possibly be a coincidence, right? Qin Yang secretly took note of this chubby guy. He turned and left. After walking some distance away, the chubby guy also gazed at Qin Yang's back. His eyes flickered. That guy is wearing a disguise. His walking posture and back look very familiar. Who exactly is this guy? The chubby guy glanced around, then withdrew his gaze. He's probably someone new from outside.
He's carrying quite a lot of goods.
The shopkeeper didn't mention what he sold just now. The chubby guy handed over 5 grade 3 spirit stones. You know the rules. You're not supposed to talk about this. The shopkeeper discreetly accepted the spirit stones. I know I was out of line. The chubby guy handed over another 5. 128 low-grade storage pouches. The shopkeeper muttered under his breath. The chubby guy's eyelid twitched. How many people did this guy rob? A moment later, the chubby guy walked out. He followed in the direction Qin Yang left. They came to the corner of the street. Out of the corner of his eye, he spotted something in the trash by the wall.
He picked up a small cloth pouch.
Inside was a note. He opened it to take a look.
The chubby guy's expression changed.
Is my little fatty junior brother's identity useful? A line of words on the note. The handwriting is just average. Anyone you grab off the street could write like this. There's nothing unique about it. There's even a smiley drawn at the end. The little fatty is holding the note.
His arm is trembling.
His face is turning pale with fear. Expertive really run into a true professional this time. He recognizes this bag. It's the one from that shady little store. It's so unremarkable that no one would notice if it was dumped by the roadside. Right, it must be that disguised guy from before. No wonder he looked familiar. Turns out he's been following me the whole time. He came specifically to see me today, beating me to the punch, so I wouldn't figure out he was stalking me. Who else would sell 128 storage pouches all at once? That's the senior brother of that dead thief. That's him, the little fatty. Thinking this far, he feels completely uneasy. He stands at the alley entrance. His face shifts between blue and white. After a moment, he grits his teeth. If I'm going to die, so be it. Since this guy is willing to show himself, he must want to meet me. Maybe we can talk. He takes a deep breath and strides out, tracking Qin Yang's traces. Half an hour later, he catches up to Qin Yang. He actually walks into a branch of Wanyong trading firm. The little fatty is stunned. He crouches outside, peeping. After a while, he can't help but feel deep admiration. This is the ultimate level for a thief. Not the slightest attempt to hide. He goes to the most extravagant Wanyong trading firm in Kingland City. spends money like it's nothing. Even the shopkeeper is alerted, sending someone to assist one-on-one, reaching this level as a thief. Even if someone robbed Wanyong trading firm right now, he would never be the suspect. As he's thinking, Qin Yang walks out of the branch. His face is calm as water. He continues along the main road. The little fatty's eyes flicker. He glances this way with a calm expression. I'm almost certain I've been spotted. Actually, Qin Yang didn't notice at all. His expression is calm, but his heart is bleeding. Spent over 300. Only made about 600 in total. Spending half at once, isn't that painful?
He only came to Wanyong trading firm out of desperation.
Other shops sell pills of varying quality. Few choices for magic tools. High prices, but quality isn't guaranteed. He really had no choice. Had to come to Wanyong trading firm. 5 bottles of yellow sprout elixir. A pile of the best materials for making magic robes is now gone. He circles back to the small courtyard, ready to start making talismans. There's a knock on the door. He opens the door. It's the familiar-looking little fatty. Bro, I was wrong. I shouldn't have used your junior brother's name. Spare me, please. I've admired your sect for a long time, but I can't find where the mountain gate is. I really just made a stupid mistake. The little fatty rattles off a string of apologies. Qin Yang is dreaming. But then he thinks, there really is a backer behind that master thief from before. Come in, we'll talk. Qin Yang remains expressionless, not betraying any emotion. But he suddenly has an idea. He brings the little fatty to a side room. There's a large lock hanging on the door. Qin Yang brushes his hand over the lock, gently grabs it. The lock opens on its own. He tosses it aside and steps in. A knowing look flashes across the little fatty's face. He's always heard that the sect has strict rules. None of the locks have keys. Guess it's true after all. Senior, that must be the legendary swift hand technique, right? Impressive Qin Yang stays unfazed. He opens the fire pit inlet under the Kong bed, shakes his body.
His size shrinks by half.
He squeezes into the 1-foot-wide hole. The little fatty's eyes light up. He climbs in after. Below is an underground space as big as the courtyard. It has everything one could need. The only exit is that 1-foot-wide hole. Bro, my name is Zhang Gengi. The little fatty introduces himself. Qin Yang holds out a hand to stop him. He sits down on his own, holds a teacup, and looks at him calmly. Let's get to the point. You were the one from Three Hills gang last night, right? How much do you know about the map? Qin Yang sits there casually, sipping his tea, asking questions just as casually. But Zhang Zhengyi feels more and more. Qin Yang is unfathomable. He even knows about that. He's now certain about his suspicions. The other side has been watching him for a long time, and he never noticed at all. Any last bit of wishful thinking is gone. He sits there, honest and upright, and tells everything he knows. Senior, about Zixao Daojun's painting site. I only found out by accident. Who would have thought the Three Hills gang would destroy the map? Now, probably a lot of people know. Boundless Tao Academy will definitely send their top experts. I know all that. The Three Hills gang tore up the map and tattooed the pieces on their skin. The divine skin map. Also, Qin Yang sounds somewhat dismissive. Is that seriously all you know? Zhang Zhengyi gets anxious. This news is already everywhere. How could that be all? I also know, besides Zixao Daojun's famous treasure weapon, the multi-treasure celestial wheel, there's likely also part of the Zixao Dao scripture's inheritance. That's a top-tier divine skill. Others may not know, but I do. Zixao Daojun called himself Zixao. All because of that half Zixao Dao scripture. Qin Yang stays composed, but is internally stirred. Leaving the note was just a random move before. He never expected all this to happen. He just thought this little fatty might be connected to the thief from last night. Who would have thought? The little fatty was the small thief from last night. No idea how his imagination ran wild. He got so scared over it. Is there really such a strong force behind that master thief? Turns out there really is a sect. As for Zixao Daojun, Daojun is an honorific for top experts. Zixao is the title. Daojun is the honorific. Back in the city, during barroom tailies, he once heard a story. 10,000 miles north of Kingland City, there's a 1,000-mile long canyon called Yidao Gorge. It was cleaved open in a battle between two Daojins thousands of years ago. One of them split it with a single slash, and that was just from the aftershock of their fight. This Zixao Daojin carried the highest grade Dao scripture. His power surpassed those two by far. The local powerhouse, Boundless Dao Academy, is still far beneath a Daojin. They're leagues away from being titled Daojin. Qin Yang feels his heart ablaze listening. A place of final rest means that Zixao Daojin has died. He can barely hold back his hands. He wants to touch that Daojin's corpse. The corpse-touching skill might not be reliable, but as long as the deceased had talent, there's a good chance to touch their proudest treasure. What Zixao Daojin prized most must be the Zixao Dao scripture. Qin Yang sat there, his eyes darting around uneasily. Senior brother. The chubby guy looked worried. Qin Yang snapped back to reality and glanced at Zhang Zhengyi, showing a kind smile. Zhang Zhengyi, are you interested in teaming up with me for a job? Senior brother, stop joking with me. First, we don't have a map. And second, we have no idea where Zixao Daojin made his paintings. Besides, with Wanyong Merchant Guild and Boundless Taoist Academy both joining in, with our strength, we can't even fish in troubled waters. To be honest with you. Qin Yang thought for a moment, and finally made up his mind. There's no way I could stir things up on my own. This chubby guy isn't that strong. Not even at foundation establishment stage. But after meeting him yesterday, he's really slick. Plus, with that cultivation method he has for changing his appearance, he could be very useful. I have the map. I just don't know how well prepared Wanyong Merchant Guild and Boundless Taoist Academy are. I'll notify the elders in our sect, but they might not make it in time. If things really go south, I'll need to find someone to join me. Senior brother is willing to dedicate everything for our sect, even if it means death. Zhang Zhengyi's eyes lit up, and he immediately pledged his loyalty. Give me a break. You know exactly what state our sect is in. Why would I bring an outsider like you along? What have you done for our sect at all? Qin Yang couldn't help but burst out laughing. Zhang Zhengyi looked a bit awkward and gave a dry chuckle. I know. Our sect has some pretty weird rules. No one gets something for nothing. But right now, it's still not too late to contribute, right? The chubby guy said, taking out several handwritten books from his storage pouch, along with 3 jade slips. With one last bit of determination, he took off all the black armbands wrapped around his arm. Senior brother, you take these first. No need to be polite. Qin Yang looked at the black armbands, eyeing them greedily. These things aren't high grade. They're just artifacts. But they're extremely useful. But after taking them, it'll be harder to bluff later. The chubby guy picked up the books and glanced through them. The martial arts manuals aren't high grade. There's also that familiar bone shrinking technique. 3 jade slips, 1,000 thread guarding secret and concealment technique. Plus the chubby guy's flawless disguise technique. Shape-shifting technique. This shape-shifting technique is pretty high grade. It's actually derived from the Yao clan's cultivation method. Way more advanced than a regular disguise. Alright, I'll take these 2 secret arts then. You go gather some intel first? Qin Yang accepted the concealment technique and the shape-shifting technique. Watching the chubby guy grinning foolishly, he suddenly had an idea. Can't just take things for free. That's a sect rule. This is a piece of the map. Let me show you first. With that, Qin Yang took out a piece of paper, right in front of the chubby guy. Drew a picture of a mountain surrounded by 2 rivers. The chubby guy saw it, and his heart settled down. It really was part of the human skin map he'd seen before. Even if he couldn't recall the details, he could still recognize it when he saw it now. Don't worry, senior brother. I'll go gather intel right away. Zhang Zhengyi was completely fooled. He really believed Qin Yang was from Huzhu. Once he left, he dashed off without looking back, like he'd been injected with adrenaline to hunt down information. Qin Yang stroked his chin. He was confused himself. What exactly is that chubby kid thinking? Could he be trying to pull one over on me? Thinking it over, even if he's trying to play me, at this stage it's still beneficial for me. There's no way the chubby guy knows that I have an even more detailed, complete map. Just getting news about Daoist Zixao and the Zixao canon is worth it. It's worth the price. Teaming up with the chubby guy isn't a bad way to fish in troubled waters. Holed up in Brother Wang's house. Qin Yang didn't leave the house.
Taking yellow sprout pills every day to improve his cultivation.
After 10 days, he finally broke through to key refining level 9. The next step is to build his Dao foundation. No regrets in foundation establishment. Choosing a cultivation method for his foundation basically determines his future path, even if he changes methods later on. If it's not suitable for cultivation, it won't help at all, and might even be harmful. It could even go seriously wrong, leading to going mad during cultivation. More importantly, the quality of the Dao foundation you establish directly affects how far you can go, and is linked to your foundation technique. Before, he didn't know, but now, he knows there's such a thing as the Dao canon. If he doesn't fight for it now, he'll definitely regret it for life later on. With his cultivation temporarily stuck, Qin Yang focused on studying talisman crafting again. Hadn't had a chance to test yet, when there was a knock at the door. That chubby Jiang Zhengyi finally came back. Senior brother, I finally overheard something. Chubby was excited, and rushed back to deliver the good news. It's not eavesdropping, it's information gathering. Qin Yang scolded him. So what did you find out? Senior brother is right. Chubby gave a big thumbs up, looking thrilled. I found out the exact location where Daoist Zixao painted his work. Turns out it's deep in the Haunted Elm Tomb, west of Kingland City. Haunted Elm Tomb. Qin Yang's voice instantly jumped up. Yeah, when you think about it, this is the only possible place. Before, I was puzzled. There didn't seem to be any mountains near Kingland City like the one on the map. Turns out it's inside there. I heard before that the Haunted Elm Tomb formed in a really peculiar way. If you go in from the front, it's direct, but if you enter from somewhere else, you're no longer in the Haunted Elm Tomb. Turns out, it's because Daoist Zixao reached enlightenment and passed away there. Qin Yang forced a laugh. The past few days, people from Wanyu Trading and Limitless Dao Institute have already done some probing expeditions. But somehow they provoked some of the ghosts in there. I heard one of the true disciples from Limitless Dao Institute had 3 aspects of Yuan energy, but was almost killed after entering the Haunted Elm Tomb and barely escaped injured. It was the Ghost King Dole's lieutenant that chased him out. What happened? Why did they clash with the Ghost King Dole? Who knows? But I did overhear something. Apparently, the Ghost King Dole has an agreement with Limitless Dao Institute. Experts from the institute aren't allowed to freely enter the Haunted Elm Tomb. But young disciples get a pass. This time, apparently the Ghost King's daughter was dumped by someone. And he's furious because she keeps pestering him. Those disciples arrived right when this was going on. Explain more clearly. Don't worry, senior brother. This is what I heard. It seems they've now reached an agreement. If they find the guy who dumped the Ghost King's daughter, the Ghost King will let them pass. Otherwise, anyone above foundation establishment who goes and gets killed. But if you ask me, even if the Ghost King doesn't act, foundation establishment cultivators would have a hell of a time getting through the tomb. It'd be crazy hard. Do you know the name of the Ghost King's daughter? Qin Yang's face got more and more stiff. He asked, testing the waters. Her name? How would I know? But they call her Princess D. Shouldn't Defei mean the Ghost King's consort? Qin Yang's face was turning green. What consort? Fei is actually a kind of title, like a rank or official position. It means she's noble. Senior brother, what if we found that heartbreaker and delivered him to the Ghost King? Wouldn't we, huh? Senior brother, what's wrong? You look awful. Hearing this, Qin Yang finally couldn't keep calm. Never expected this. Turns out in this world, consort doesn't actually mean consort. Are you kidding me? Daoist Zixiao's painting site is in the Haunted Elm Tomb. How are we supposed to get there? That Princess D is the Ghost King Dole's daughter, and apparently she's got a thing for pain. Now this really complicates things. If she was just the Ghost King's lover, it'd be fine. Living there alone means she's not all that important. The Ghost King might not really care. But now it turns out she's the king's daughter. If I walk in myself, the Ghost King absolutely wouldn't hesitate to use force for his precious daughter's Saki. Senior brother? Chubby looked confused. Senior brother, you alright? I'm fine. Just suddenly thought of an idea. still figuring out how to do it. By the way, do you have any clues about that heartbreaker? Why'd you suddenly ask about him, senior brother? Chubby got even more puzzled. The idea I have depends on that guy. Tell me what info you gathered first. About the heartbreaker. Nothing much. I just heard he's probably in Kingland City. He's not very old. Maybe just a good-looking pretty boy with no real skill. That'll be hard to find. Who said we have to find the real guy? We just want to sneak in there somehow. Qin Yang looked at him with exasperation. Suddenly, Chubby figured it out. He looked at Qin Yang with admiration. Senior brother, you've really got guts. If the Ghost King finds out, he'll probably kill us in the worst way. Can you give up on this? Chubby was honest. No way I give up. The chubby guy nodded fiercely, his eyes rolling around. Then he suddenly asked, by the way, senior brother, I still don't know your full name. I'm Qin, given name Yud. Qin Yang replied casually, squinted his eyes a bit, and patted the chubby guy's shoulder. Junior brother, could you do me a favor and gather some more intel? Wait until Wanyong Trading and the people from Limitless Tao Institute make their move? And then we find a way to sneak in. Sounds good? Chubby turned and left, walked out the yard's gate, looked back, grumbling in his heart. This Qin Yud guy. Could senior brother have guessed my name's fake too? People from great sects really know their stuff. They're slick talkers and tricksters. Impressive. After the chubby guy left, Qin Yang took out 2 books, Concealment Technique and Shape-Shifting Technique. Surprisingly, the harder shape-shifting technique was actually easier to learn. The concealment technique, which was supposed to be easier, stayed out of reach. He'd just barely gotten started. Thinking it over, maybe it's because he'd already mastered the bone-shrinking technique, so the shape-shifting technique came much more easily. Use bone reduction technique to alter the body shape, then fine-tune it with shape-shifting spell. In no time at all, Qin Yang seemed like a completely different person. He applied homemade foundation to change his skin tone. After changing into new clothes, he was totally unrecognizable. He stood in front of the mirror, checking himself out for a moment. A slight smile appeared on Qin Yang's face. Even he couldn't spot a single flaw. The level of the shape-shifting spell was even higher than he'd expected. Chubby is probably clueless about this. Otherwise, he wouldn't have just handed it over so easily. Transformation complete. Qin Yang quietly left the house, heading straight for the west side of the city. Halfway to the city gate, he glanced to the side. His pace faltered ever so slightly, and he turned his head to look. Chubby was standing at the entrance of the Wanyong Trading House branch. He seemed to be talking to someone, then was brought inside by a servant who just came out. Qin Yang had seen this servant before. He was one of Steward Caillou's trusted aides. A thought flashed through Qin Yang's mind. An annoying smile crossed his face. This so-called junior named Zhang Zhengyi really isn't a decent person at all. Either he saw through me from the start and knew I wasn't his senior from the same sect, or he genuinely believed that I was his senior from the sect, but still didn't hesitate to set me up. Just listening to him is enough. There's no way that sect of his is a proper school, since we have to blend in and help Consort de look for her heartless man. It doesn't really matter if it's real or fake. After all, who's easier to scam than your own senior?
Especially when the idea came from the senior himself.
Qin Yang didn't rush to leave. Instead, he sat in the tea house across the street. Soon, Chubby was escorted out by the servant.
He was clearly treated a lot better.
After leaving, Chubby ducked into a maze of alleys. He was obviously trying to find me. Not long after Chubby left, Steward Caillou came out as well, accompanied by a foundation establishment expert. That man glanced briefly at his compass, then followed in Chubby's direction, trailing him at a steady pace. Qin Yang picked up his teacup, finished the last sip, left a snack on the table, and leisurely strolled out of the tea house, heading out of the city. After leaving, he looked back at the city with a faint smile on his lips. Chubby is still too green after all. The goal is just to infiltrate and get through King Dwal's turf. Going deep enough is all that matters. Too bad you don't have a map. So you'll have to tag along with Wanyong Trading House. But I don't need to. Guess you just have to endure it for now. Little junior, your senior will always outplay you. Qin Yang walked out of the city at a relaxed pace. There were a lot more people near the mass grave. People from Wanyong Trading House and Wuliang Dao Academy all showed up. They even fought with King Duo. Qin Yang ignored the commotion, walked boldly through the mass grave, and through the gloomy forest. A thin mist started to rise all around, and the yin energy suddenly thickened. He realized he'd entered the Yinhuai ghost tomb area. All at once his vision blurred, and dozens of ghostly creatures appeared in front of him, spaced around the wild graves. Their sinister eyes were locked on Qin Yang. Send someone in charge who can speak for you. I found the person your ghost king is looking for. Surrounded by dozens of ghosts, Qin Yang didn't seem to care. It's different from last time. Now, even just using talismans would be enough to wipe out all these ghosts. Meanwhile, Chubby was wandering around the city at his usual unhurried pace, but moving slyly. He disappeared after turning a few corners. Steward Kiyu and two Foundation establishment experts tailed him personally. When they came over, all they found was a piece of Chubby's clothing. Steward Kiyu looked displeased. He stared at the clothes for a moment, then suddenly started chuckling. Not bad, he's got some real skills. A little key-nurturing brat actually managed to slip past us. Maybe he really is telling the truth. Anyone capable must be shameless, even willing to sell out their own. Junior, this kid definitely has a bright future. The middle-aged man with the compass put it away and nodded. Right, this Chubby is cautious enough. If he can shake off my tail, his senior can't be ordinary either. No wonder he could capture the heart of King Duo's favorite
Daughter,
now it's all up to him. But Steward Kiyu, are you really taking Chubby with you? Yeah, why not? No matter how slippery he is, he's just a low-level key nurturer. That place where the master painted, for people like us. If we make one mistake, we're just ants. Shame, we can't keep this under wraps right now. So we've got to take a big risk. If only we could wait another month, once the senior experts from the trading house arrive. Not even the Ghost King could stop us. Thinking about this, Steward Q gritted his teeth in anger. If not for that little thief the other day, they wouldn't be forced to move ahead like this. No need to get angry. The Violet Sky Taoist.
he was such a legendary figure.
He dominated the era 5,000 years ago. If he hadn't suddenly vanished, even the big shot behind the trading house wouldn't be qualified to look up to him. No matter how many experts were sent to the Taoist master, they'd still be nothing today. But maybe this isn't all bad. The middle-aged man seemed unfazed and was actually pretty philosophical. Meanwhile, Chubby shook off his pursuers and returned to the small house.
He knocked but got no response.
So he snuck inside and found a note left on the table. Junior Jiang, I've found an important lead. I'm off to track someone down. Meet me outside the Yinhuai ghost tomb tomorrow. After looking at the note, Chubby calmed down. He hesitated for a long while, then stomped his foot, gritted his teeth, and turned to leave. At the entrance to Yinhuai ghost tomb, Qin Yang was surrounded by dozens of ghosts. Soon, a figure shrouded in ghostly aura, with a body as solid as a living being, and a fierce face advanced toward him. Do you know who Consort D is looking for? The ghost soldier exuded a terrifying presence, killing intent radiating from his body. A fierce ghost like this was at least Foundation establishment late stage. That's right, it's my junior Zhang Zhengi. I know he came to Yinhuai ghost tomb earlier, and after leaving, he secretly sold over 100 ghosts. Qin Yang suppressed the burning pain as he breathed, but kept his composure and replied, "Where is he?"
Hearing this,
The ghost's killing intent suddenly skyrocketed, turning into a jet-black cloud that shot straight into the sky. Qin Yang was blasted away. King Duo, is this how you usually train your people? Caught off guard and blasted away, Qin Yang was furious. He flipped his hand, and a foot-long scroll appeared. Lights flickered on the scroll. Spiritual power surged. The thick yin energy around him was stirred by an invisible force, whipping up a wild wind. A sense of extreme danger suddenly appeared, and the fanged ghost soldier stopped in his tracks. He glanced at the scroll in Qin Yang's hand. His expression slowly returned to normal. You came to deliver a message. We'll naturally follow the rules. What do you want? It's simple. I just want to know why the people from the Universal Trading Company and the Infinite Tao Institute have suddenly become interested in the Silver Locust ghost tomb. The fanged ghost soldier stared intently at Qin Yaohao with pitch-black eyes. After a moment of silence, he finally spoke. As long as you give us the answer we want, we'll give you the answer you want. My junior brother Zhang Zhengyi is currently in Kinglan City. He's with people from the Universal Trading Company. If nothing unexpected happens, they'll come here tomorrow. He has a magical item that disguises his appearance. When the time comes, you just need to find a chubby boy who looks really friendly. That's my junior brother, Zhang Zhengyi. Since he's fortunate enough to win the favor of Consort Day, as his senior brother, I can't let him become heartless. Maybe we'll become in-laws in the future. Qin Yang was making things up non-stop. He spoke righteously and convincingly. The fanged ghost soldier heard this, and pretty much believed it. There were lots of details inside, which only the real person would know. Looking at Qin Yang again, he couldn't help feeling contempt. Another one trying to climb up the ranks. In order to curry favor with the Ghost King, he'd even sell out his own junior brother. Those cultivators want to enter the Silver Locust Ghost Tomb, just to get deeper inside. The deal's done. Go get some rest. Is what you said true? We'll find out tomorrow. The fanged ghost soldier didn't want to say any more. He was nearly 90% convinced. He didn't doubt Qin Yang's motives. Since Duo the Ghost King is an elite in the Silver Locust Ghost Tomb, a lot of people want to get close to the Tomb Overlord. The best way is to marry the Ghost King's daughter. If he can't do it himself, having his junior brother marry her works too. Qin Yang was led away by several ghosts. He walked forward along a narrow path. The further they walked, the more ghosts they encountered. In this remote wilderness, countless graves stand among barren hills. There are 2 mountain peaks ahead. Packed densely, at least 1,000 graves of spirits fill the land. So where are you two taking me? Naturally, to the Ghost King's residence. The ghost guard beside him immediately gave the answer. When he looked at him, his eyes were full of mockery. Qin Yang squinted without saying a word. He obediently followed along, but he nearly laughed out loud inside. The Ghost King's residence. That place is deep within the Yinwei Ghost Tomb. If I tried to sneak in alone, the odds would be terrifyingly low. After walking for nearly half an hour, the mountains ahead merged into the center. Pitch darkness. Suddenly, a complex of buildings appeared. All the buildings were the same color, and looked gloomy and solemn. Qin Yang gazed into the distance. Following the line of buildings, he looked toward the rear. The 2 mountains formed a narrow gap that reached the heavens. A torrent rushed through the center. The river water formed a white line, falling straight from the sky. This is the entrance marked on the map. Finally, a place connected to the map has been found. But Qin Yang didn't feel much joy. With a quick glance, he saw countless sentry posts inside. At 4 corners stood 4 giants, each over 30 feet tall, towering and broad. Huge ghosts emanating intense ghostly energy. Resolute giant ghosts. Their eyes glowed like giant lanterns, illuminating all directions, constantly patrolling. Qin Yang felt a chill in his heart watching them. He suddenly realized he was playing with fire. His plan to blend in unnoticed seemed to be falling apart.
He forgot his own power was merely insignificant here.
What are you spacing out for? Hurry up and walk. The ghost who escorted him from behind looked at him disdainfully. Very satisfied with Qin Yang's shocked expression, Qin Yang said nothing and followed along. He looked back once, secretly thinking to himself about his own advantage. Junior brother, you better try harder. Go ahead and set me up as much as you can. Don't hold back. With the ghost tribe escort, he was led into a secluded corner of the ghost city. A stone house appeared, no different from other buildings. On all sides, no door could be seen. Only a layer of black fog shrouded it. He was taken to a spot where the black mist parted. Inside, a ghost tribe member dressed in formal attire walked out. This person is here to sell information. A flash of understanding crossed Zhao Li's face. Sizing him up and down, Qin Yang said little. They led him toward the black fog. Approaching the fog, Zhao Li activated his token. The black mist opened up. After entering, Zhao Li noticed Qin Yang staring at him. The token owner sneered coldly. This black mist devours souls and corrodes bones. Invisible poisonous insects swarm within. Only a token combined with secret techniques can drive it away. Once you enter this black prison, there's absolutely no escaping. Even if you break out, you'll die even faster outside. Of course, Qin Yang understood. If he showed up alone in the ghost city now, he would definitely die miserably. He entered the black prison. Qin Yang's face looked a bit grim. The black prison was quite spacious. There wasn't a heavy iron bar to be seen. Each cell was separated by thin black fog. Most of the cells were empty. In the cells with prisoners, most inmates were living cultivators. Just behave yourself and stay here. They're all here to sell information. The prison guard wore a crooked smile. He placed Qin Yang into a cell. Qin Yang finally understood why the prior handover had been so brief. Turns out, some reckless idiots had been here selling fake info before. Suddenly, a scream echoed through the black prison. Qin Yang looked up. A cultivator inside one cell stuck a hand out into the thin black mist. That hand turned to bones at a speed visible to the eye. With the thin black fog covering it, the bones quickly shattered and disappeared. The cultivator retracted his hand. Black mist surged upward over the wound. Within a couple breaths, half his arm was gone. Gritting his teeth, he drew a long blade and chopped it at his own shoulder. His arm was severed clean at the shoulder. The severed limb vanished completely within a few seconds, gone without a trace. The prison guard just reaching the door glanced back and sneered, then turned and left. Everyone in the cells went silent in terror. Qin Yang stood inside his cell, gazing at the walls formed by black mist. His heart was pounding. This isn't just soul-devouring and bone-corroding. It's thorough consumption, nothing left behind. No wonder not a single prison guard stays inside, nor are the prisoners searched or chained. With this black fog here, who needs all those steps? There's no expected prison layout. Naturally, no doors or locks. If you want to escape, you'll have to come up with another way. Qin Yang felt his pouch, secretly muttered to himself. Hopefully, everything I've heard about this place is true. A whole day passed. Next day, at noon, as the blazing sun rose high, the crew from Yongsheng charged boldly into the mass grave, heading straight to the Yinwei ghost tomb. Dozens of cultivators rushed in, confronting the guards at the entrance of the ghost tomb. "Hey, Fatty, where is your senior brother?" Manager Q wore a gloomy face. Hatred simmered in his eyes.
He stared fiercely at Zhang Zheng.
Maybe something held him up. Fatty's temples were drenched in cold sweat. He felt a sense of foreboding. Could it be that his senior brother found out he set him up? Just then, a path opened up in the ghost crowd. A tusked ghost soldier strode forward. His tiger-like gaze scanned the crowd. As he spotted the fatty behind Manager Q, he looked closer. "You're Zhang Zhengyi, right?" Fatty responded, growing even more anxious. How did this guy know he was here? What does that look mean? Before he could react, the tusked ghost soldier cupped his hands to Manager Q. Manager Q really keeps his word. Since you've brought the one the lady wanted, the Ghost King will definitely honor his promise. Once I take this person to confirm with the lady, you'll have your answer. Manager Q was slightly taken aback. He glanced at Zhang Zhengyi, who was uneasy, and seemed ready to run. Rage fumed inside. So this is the guy? He's the heartless one. No wonder he knows so much. Even came here to play the innocent. There must be a misunderstanding. Zhang Zhengyi stepped back, bitterly muttering. Thinking back, he finally understood that his senior brother actually set him up instead. Manager Q wasn't about to waste words with Fatty. He grabbed him by the neck and sent a jolt of true energy. Fatty went limp. Now it doesn't matter. If it's Fatty, there was no point. Anyhow, that's the one they wanted. Manager Q didn't bother arguing. He tossed Fatty to the tusked ghost soldier, after the other side took Fatty away. Manager Q finally turned to the middle-aged man beside him. Are the people from Wuliangdao Academy not here yet? They should be arriving soon. We can't delay today any longer, no matter what the plan says.
Even if the Ghost King of many peaks tries to block us,
Wuliangdao Academy will send their experts to keep him in check. They won't hesitate to break ties if necessary. The chubby guy was grabbed by the ghost soldier. A sudden gust of dark wind whipped up beneath his feet. He was dragged skyward. It took barely a moment. They flew to where the ghost city was located. The ghost soldier didn't land.
he held the chubby guy with one hand and shook him mid-air.
The chubby guy was terrified, his face pale as a sheet. He shivered all over. Not far away, on a loft, a graceful female ghost stood. Her face was shy and fierce as she glanced over. Disappointment instantly filled her pretty face. She turned and went back into the loft. The fanged ghost soldier looked ugly.
He stared as the chubby guy landed in the ghost city.
He casually tossed him in front of the black prison shrouded in dark mist, locked him inside. The fanged ghost soldier flew away. A prison guard emerged from the black mist. He looked the chubby guy up and down, judging him. There are so many people who aren't afraid to die. They really think our Lord Ghost King runs a charity. Anyone dares to come and cheat or swindle. That's just asking to die. The chubby guy couldn't control his body at all. No surprise, he was thrown into the black prison. When the black prison finally settled down, the chubby guy lay flat on the ground. He grimaced in pain. He grumbled and cursed. Suddenly, a familiar voice sounded by his ear. Jiang Jr. brother, it really is a small world. When he regained a bit of control over his body, the chubby guy turned his head with difficulty. He saw the person in the neighboring cell. His eyes went wide. It turned out to be senior brother Qin. You're here too. Then there was a deathly silence. Both of them seemed to feel. Meeting here was kind of awkward. When the chubby guy finally regained full control of his body, he walked to the edge of the cell, sat down heavily on the ground. There was a hint of admiration on his face. He cupped his hands in salute to Qin Yang. Senior brother Qin, you really are sharp as ever. Didn't expect you'd see through me so soon. And instead managed to trick me instead. Impressive, impressive. Junior brother Jiang, you're too kind. Thank you, thank you. Qin Yang cupped his fists in return as well. He responded with a cheerful smile. Senior brother Qin, you managed to get caught first. How did you end up here too? If I said I did it on purpose, would you believe me? Hey, Zhang Zhengyi let out an awkward laugh. His face clearly said, yeah, right, like I believe that. Senior brother Qin, that joke wasn't funny at all. Alright, believe me or not, I don't care. The people from Wanyu Trading Company are here, aren't they? And so are the ones from Wuliang Dao Academy. The folks from Wanyong Trading Company have arrived for sure. Steward Qiu is leading them. Rumor has it there's also an expert securing their rear. Wuliang Dao Academy, huh? They haven't shown up yet. Supposedly, their genius was seriously injured. There's a risk his cultivation realm might drop. So they're a bit pissed off. This time, there might even be an elder coming in person to deal with the king of ghosts, Duol. Jiang Zhengyi didn't try to hide anything. After saying that, a thought crossed his mind. He casually asked another question. Senior brother Qin, you're already here. So why bother asking? I'm just waiting for a fight to break out so I can escape in the chaos. Why else do you think I let myself get caught? Hey, senior brother Qin, you're joking again? Forget it if you don't want to say. Jiang Zhengyi curled his lip. He lost interest in talking. Fine, don't believe me. Qin Yang looked at Jiang Zhengyi's expression and couldn't help but smile. Making up stories is too tiring. Ironically, he believes me less when I just tell the truth. Watching this guy walk in, Qin Yang realized plenty of cultivators had already arrived. But no fighting had started yet. Otherwise, the chubby guy wouldn't just be locked in here. He'd have probably been ripped apart on the spot. Wanyong Trading Company still can't get the job done. We have to rely on Wuliang Dao Academy as the undisputed power around here for 1,000 miles. If their genius disciple merely got killed, of course they're going to react. Plus, since the location of Daoist Zi Zhao's painting is right here, Wuliang Dao Academy will definitely use this as an excuse to make a big move. They might even take this opportunity to finish off the King of Ghosts, Duol. Elsewhere, at the entrance of the Yinwai Ghost Tomb, cultivators and ghosts are still staring each other down, waiting for confirmation from inside. If a fight can be avoided, nobody actually wants to fight, especially those from Wanyong Trading Company. Their forces here aren't strong. But this issue can't be dragged out anymore. If news leaks out, top-tier masters might be drawn here. Then nobody will get anything out of it. Steward Qiu wore a grim face, racking his brain for ways to minimize losses. He wanted to settle this matter quickly. As he was thinking, the surrounding mist suddenly began to boil. Ripples spread in every direction. Waves began to swirl, and the ground started to tremble. With a muffled boom, everyone there, human or ghost, felt a heavy pressure on their chests and saw stars before their eyes. When they came back to their senses, The rolling mist looked like giant hands had torn it apart.
Inside the Yinyi ghost tomb,
Everyone could even see the chaotic burial ground outside, and the distant outline of Kingland City. People were shocked and terrified. Many couldn't help but cry out in alarm. Are you kidding me? Who just ripped the barrier open like this? A Sanyuan realm cultivator? No, that's not right. Could it be a Void Core stage grandmaster? In the midst of the exclamations, a crimson divine rainbow suddenly appeared at the edge of the sky, like a bridge of light arching between heaven and earth. In the blink of an eye, it charged into the Yinyi ghost tomb. The red glow faded, revealing an elder with a wrinkled forehead, floating in nitter. A fire dragon coiled and rotated around him. Just his presence made the temperature spike upward. The oppressive mist was completely driven away by the intense heat. Sparks constantly sizzled in the air. Sparks scattered everywhere when they landed. Even the dozens of feet-tall trees in the black forest nearby, if they so much as touched a spark, were reduced to ash in an instant. The flaming divine steel shield. They even brought out such a righteous sex-spiritual artifact. Wuliang Dao Academy. Guess they're planning to fully break with the King of Ghosts duel. Steward Q stared at that fire dragon, his face turning even grimmer, because the one wielding the flaming divine steel shield was Elder Su Shen of Wuliang Dao Academy, the master of the genius who was nearly killed. Funnily enough, although he's named Shen, cautious, he's not cautious at all. He's famous for his explosive temper. He's fought the King of Ghosts duel more than once. As long as the King of Ghosts duel stayed put, he always minded his own business. Wuliang Dao Academy naturally didn't want trouble. But now that they've handed this top-tier spiritual weapon to Su Shen, it means they're out for blood this time. Sure enough. Duel, you little ghost. Come out and face your death. If you don't, I'll burn your damn nest to the ground. Su Shen let out a thunderous roar, his voice booming with both yin energy and mist, shooting like a cannonball deep into the Yinyi ghost tomb. Billows of black clouds turned into waves, colliding with the incoming force. In midair, a deafening clash echoed. This perpetually dark ghost tomb actually cleared up enough to let the sun in. Red-feathered, chicken-eyed guy. Don't think that fire shield will scare me. I'm not afraid of you. A ghostly face formed from the black clouds roared madly from midair, shifting and reforming, swiftly condensing into a black unicorn horse as tall as a building. On the horse's back, a square-faced, bearded, stern-looking man materialized out of thin air. His mere presence exuded authority without anger. The burly man, riding the black horse, stepped through the sky. As the King of Ghosts, Dual, approached, his momentum peaked, and a thunderous shout exploded at the ghost tomb entrance. People and horses were sent flying. Steward Qiu and the other Foundation establishment cultivators all groaned. Their faces turned ghostly pale. For a moment, everyone used their own escapes to get as far away as possible from the battle between these two hotheads. Just one shout was enough to injure Foundation establishment cultivators. Those at the key nurturing stage didn't stand a chance. They couldn't even scream before, all collapsing at once, fainted by the sheer force of that roar. Dual, you little ghost. I've had it with you for a long time. Ha ha ha. Seeing the King of Ghosts, Duol, show up himself, Su Shen laughed instead of getting angry. He charged forward with a big, hearty laugh. With a flash of red light, the fire dragon swirling around him suddenly expanded hundreds of times, becoming a giant fire dragon 1,000 feet long. He blasted upward in a fiery red wave. In midair, red and black flames intertwined. Elder Su Shen and the King of Ghosts Duol were really going all out. There's no way this is ending anytime soon. Let's go. Gather everyone right away. Anyone below Foundation Establishment, stay out of this. Those above Foundation Establishment, go your separate ways. Just get there first. We'll regroup when we arrive. Steward Qiu took a healing pill and, with a dark look, began issuing orders. He glanced at the middle-aged man beside him and spoke in a milder tone. Brother Suo, come with me. You're an expert in formations and restrictions. Once we're inside, we'll be counting on you. We have to move now. Otherwise, if Wuliang Dao Academy gets there first, we'll lose our advantage. You're too polite, Brother Q. I'll do my best. The middle-aged man nodded in acknowledgement, his expression calm. Meanwhile, as they launched their assault into the Yunwai ghost tomb, in the ghost city's dark prison, do you know who Redhead Chikinai is? Qin Yang looked up at the ceiling and casually asked, Hey, you don't even know about this. That's Elder Su Shen from the Boundless Tao Institute. He's sworn enemies with King Dole Ghost. They fight every few years. I guess before that King Dole Ghost beat up his disciple. Would Elder Su Shen just ignore that? Too bad we can't see it. Fights between masters like this are really rare to witness. The chubby guy smacked his lips, looking disappointed. Qin Yang kept his head up, listening intently for noises outside.
He ignored the chubby guy?
Senior brother Qin. The chubby guy's eyes darted around, a teasing look on his face. Didn't you say you got caught on purpose? Isn't this the perfect time now? No rush, it's not time yet. They've just started fighting. Qin Yang listened closely, completely ignoring the chubby guy's sarcasm. The chubby guy flashed a toothy grin, with a fake smile plastered on his face. After a little while, there was more commotion outside. This time it was much louder. Before, there were just a few angry shouts. Now it's clearly the movement of a large group, especially those slow, heavy footsteps. Every time they landed, you could feel the ground tremble slightly. This must be the 4 giant spirit ghosts moving. Sensing the commotion, Qin Yang reached into his robe and pulled out a smooth blood jade, slowly channeling his vital energy, pouring it into the blood jade. A phantom of a Buddha wearing a tall hat appeared. Only its back could be seen. No matter how much you turn it, all you see is its back through the blood jade. As the Buddha phantom emerged, an ancient aura emanated from the blood light, peaceful and serene. Within that blood light, there was also a trace of Zen aura that captivated the mind. Qin Yang held the blood jade and slowly approached the mist that formed the prison walls. Ripples instantly appeared on the mist's surface and naturally spread out to both sides. Qin Yang stepped out. Only then did the mist behind him return to normal. Blood Llama. The little chubby guy in the neighboring cell cried out in surprise. His eyes almost popped out. Blood jade is ominous. Usually, it's jade boxes or jade cicadas placed in the mouths of the dead. But this blood jade is something truly special, given to Buddhist and Taoist cultivators to ward off the cold. This is a legit, auspicious cloud treasure. When worn, it protects you from all evil. Nothing vile can touch you. Selling a treasure like that, you could buy endless cultivation resources, enough to last Qing Yang 3 years, no matter what this black mist actually is, or what kind of venomous insects lurked inside. Their true level couldn't be all that high. The blood llama can totally suppress them, not hoping to kill the poison bugs in the mist. Just driving them away is definitely easy. Qin Yang stepped out, glanced sidelong at the chubby guy. You really are quite knowledgeable. Senior brother Qin, my good senior brother, take me with you. I knew you were smart and mighty. You would never act blindly. Even if it's Ghost City, I know you could come and go as you please. If you hadn't let them, there's no way they'd have caught you. Senior brother. Wait, don't go. Take me with you. I promise to follow your lead. Whatever I have is yours. And if you're happy, you can reward me with a piece or two. I, Zhang Zhengyi, swear to the heavens. I'm not joking. Senior brother, come back. I'm really helpful. I've traveled all over these years. I may not be strong, but I've seen a lot. Fatty was so anxious he was burning up. He didn't even dare to touch the mist that formed the prison walls. This time, he really got scared pissless. He didn't know what would happen to the others. Outside, the human cultivators and King Dwell the Ghost are really going at it. When things are over, neither side will let him off. When there was no hope to escape, he was fine. But now, a golden opportunity is right in front of him. Not only can he escape, but also sneak around in the chaos, reach the place where Taoist Zixao painted. This senior brother even has the map. Missing this chance would be worse than dying. Qin Yang was already halfway out, but suddenly paused and turned to stare at the wide-eyed chubby guy. All those promises, Qin Yang treated them as nonsense. But that bit about being well-traveled, no matter how exaggerated, he was definitely more experienced than Qin Yang. Senior brother Qin, I can also find dragon veins and geomancy points. I'm good at geomancy and feng shui. Excavating tombs is my specialty. The chubby guy was still babbling about his usefulness. Qin Yang turned around and came back, looked at the chubby guy with amused admiration. I really appreciate how shameless you are. You probably don't even need my help. You could escape by yourself. No, senior brother Qin. I'm totally out of ideas this time. I really don't have a way out of here. These are called bone-eating bugs. Each one is finer than dust. There's just way too many here. Plus, they're fearless. Once provoked, there's no end until someone dies. I'm really out of options. Other than extremely special control methods, only treasures like the blood llama can drive them off. The chubby guy sounded sincere, completely resigned. Most of what he said was probably almost entirely true, but the most crucial point was absolutely fake. That's why he could sound so sincere. Yet everything he said, Qin Yang didn't believe a word. Walking up to the chubby guy's cell, Qin Yang gave a slight smile. Junior brother Zhang, I was just messing with you. Do you believe me? I believe you, senior brother. Whatever you say, I'll believe it. Qin Yang was stunned for a moment. He totally underestimated Fatty's shamelessness. Letting you out. No problem. Let's keep exploring together. We're not that strong after all. Using the blood llama to rescue the people in the cells around Fatty, they all started eagerly looking at Qin Yang, shouting desperately, begging to be let out. Let me out. I'll give you 5,000 spirit stones. And a magic weapon. Once you let me out, it's all yours. Amid their desperate yelling, Qin Yang turned a deaf ear and walked to the black prison entrance without looking back. He knew exactly what kind of people they were, but if he let them out, they'd definitely turn on him immediately. If we can't get out, then you won't either. Sensing that Qin Yang was dead set on ignoring them, someone finally roared and took out a magic weapon, launching an attack at Qin Yang. But as soon as the weapon's light flashed and touched the black mist, that person was instantly engulfed. His miserable screams echoed through the prison, and within a few breaths, nothing was left, not even ashes. Reaching the black prison gate, Fatty dashed forward. Senior brother Qin, let me handle this for you. Leave it to me. Chubby walked up to the door, activated the black scarf wrapped around his wrist, slipped it through the crack, and pried the door open from outside. The moment the door opened, the two bored prison guards at the entrance were immediately wrapped tight by Fatty's black scarf. He gave a hard yank, and the scarf tightened abruptly. Both ghost guards exploded with a bang, their ghost energy scattered. Looking around, besides those two, there was no one else. Ahead lay an even thicker black mist. Qin Yang gripped the blood llama and slowly moved toward the dark barrier. Faint ripples appeared. The bone-eating bugs retreated. Qin Yang slipped through the black mist, Chubby right behind him. Once outside, they looked toward the back of Ghost City. The dim sky canyon is right there. Once they leave Ghost City, they'll reach Taoist Sixiao's place of transcendence. Just as the two emerged, about 100 yards away, stood a woman in a black dress, holding a black whip tipped with a tongue, fighting fiercely with a dashing young man barely in his 20s. Qin Yang's face turned green instantly, expressionless.
He slapped himself all over,
Pasting on a ton of talismans. Wind walking and autumn cicada talismans, diamond talisman, and then bolted without hesitation. Fatty shivered and rushed after Qin Yang, muttering under his breath as they ran. A female ghost, an inner sect disciple of Infinite Taoist Academy. Neither are any good people. Those two bastards kill each other. They'd only run 100 yards when the sounds of fighting behind them suddenly stopped. The chubby kid turned around and looked back. He was almost scared to pee himself. That ghost woman seemed to be going crazy, furious. She glared, gritting her teeth and chasing them relentlessly. She totally ignored the sword light from the young cultivator behind. It was as if she didn't even notice it. She was determined to chase them down, even if it meant taking a hit. Qin Yang saw this. His face turned ashen. He recognized her at a glance just now. That was Defei. This little lady is at the ghost soldier level. Last time, his disguise was seen through. But she shouldn't know his real face. Who knows what method she used this time? One look exchanged. Qin Yang immediately knew she had recognized him. Now he's been caught. Just look at her gritted teeth and the hatred in her eyes. If she really catches him, he'll wish he were dead. Of course, he absolutely can't let that shameless chubby kid know about this. Can't let him think the ghost woman is chasing him, so Qin Yang lets him run. It's your big mouth. How am I supposed to know? The chubby kid is about to cry, but can't.
He's nearly lost it.
Stop talking, just run. Qin Yang dashed straight ahead, focused on survival. He used every talisman he could find on himself. As he ran, he secretly regretted.
He only managed to craft one end path scroll before.
Unfortunately, it wasn't the Awakening End Path Scroll. Otherwise, he'd have summoned a white crane and flown out already. Wouldn't have had to deal with all this. Qin Yang kept charging forward. The chubby kid used some secret technique. His running posture was extremely odd. But he was super fast.
He kept up right behind, never falling behind.
Behind them, Defei swung her black snake whip with a fierce look. She gritted her teeth, riding on the black wind. She was faster than both of them. Even further back, the handsome guy from Wu Liang Dao Yuan held a sword. He rode the wind with his long sword. His speed wasn't slow either. He kept chasing close behind. But he had a hint of confusion on his face. He was totally baffled by what was happening. Stop, don't run. Defei shouted, gritting her teeth. She threw her black snake whip. In an instant, the black snake's head opened its mouth. It let out a screech and grew larger as it soared through the air. Its body shook, turning into a black giant python dozens of yards long.
Its massive body traced an arc.
Spiritual energy takes form. Mother, what's the deal with this crazy woman? All I did was talk trash a bit. Is that really necessary? The chubby kid is drenched in sweat. Not sure if he's tired from running or just scared. When the black python shows up, the chubby kid starts running even faster. Looks like he's about to pass Qin Yang. Qin Yang doesn't even look back. He tosses out a stack of talismans with a backhand move. Flames, frost, boulders, and fierce winds erupt all at once. Chaotic attacks rain down everywhere, all aimed at the black python's head. The black python opens its jaws and takes a sudden inhale. Whether it's fire or frost, it swallows up 2 or 3 dozen talismans in one gulp. Aside from buying a bit of time, the black python isn't hurt at all. Senior brother, run. Don't waste your strength. That black python is spiritual energy in physical form. We're not equipped to deal with it at all. The chubby kid grimaces. His fat jiggles all over. He doesn't look back either. Sole focus is just running forward. Qin Yang looks grim. No longer struggles pointlessly. Spiritual energy really is the Ghost King's daughter's specialty. Rich people can't even afford a mid-grade magical device myself. She throws out spiritual energy just like that. Finally approaching the rear of Ghost City. Large buildings are starting to show up. The black python slows down just a bit. Once we're out the back gate of Ghost City, the stretch before the Heavenly Gap. It's wide open and flat. Getting caught is inevitable. Qin Yang's eyes dart. Senior brother's behind. Did you realize? This is the Ghost King's favorite daughter, Dual. She's right on our heels, still trying to figure out why she's chasing. Duxing looks puzzled. When he glances at Defei, his eyes change. Senior brother, hurry up and take him down. Help Elder Su Shen out. If the Ghost King gets distracted for a moment, Elder Su Shen might defeat his longtime rival. Who knows, in a good mood, he might make you his personal disciple. Despicable. You filthy thief. Defei is so angry her chest is heaving. She's about to explode from rage. Doesn't make any move though. The black python on their tail opens its mouth and sprays out mist. Thick clouds of black fog. Turns invisible in a flash. The two running ahead like unleashed stray dogs. Running wild just like that. Immediately catch a whiff of a sickly sweet scent. It's poisonous. After just a breath or two, both start feeling short of breath. Their minds begin to get fuzzy. Qin Yang is shocked. Quickly activates the blood trumpet. A wave of blood light spreads out, rippling layer upon layer. As the Buddha silhouette appears, Zen tones ripple outward, clearing the minds of both. Duxin chasing close behind. Finally can't resist the temptation. If he really manages to help even a little, let Elder Su Shen beat the Ghost King. Directly gets taken as a personal disciple. Not likely for full transmission though. But becoming a true inner disciple is highly possible. the odds of becoming a core disciple rise a lot. Even if it doesn't work out, at worst, he'll definitely get a reward. And with some FaceTime, gaining an elder's favor. That's better than anything. Thinking like that, Duxing won't consider anything else. He calls out in a low voice, waves his long sword, makes a hand seal with one hand. Suddenly sword lights burst forth, layer upon layer, like morning glories blooming. At their peak, the brilliance explodes. Sword lights blanket the sky, like a torrential downpour, all aiming to envelop Defei. Defei grinds her teeth in hate. But right now, she really can't keep chasing. Qinyang and the others gesture. Summon the black python back to guard them. Clash with Dushin head-on. No one in Wuliang Dao Academy is decent. Every single one deserves to die. A battle erupts behind them. The black python struggles wildly amidst the sword rain. Dust clouds billow. Buildings are collapsing everywhere. Qinyang and the chubby kid keep running. Sprint a good distance ahead. Confirm that no one's catching up for now. Finally stop to take a break. Qinyang, do you know that pretty boy back there? The chubby kid pauses at the question. Hey, grins. Gives a thumbs up. Qinyang, you're really clever. I almost thought we were going to die at the hands of that crazy woman. Hey, that crazy woman. Maybe she thinks we're disciples of Wuliang Dao Academy too. Who cares what she thinks? Anyway, that handsome guy. He's stronger than her, even with weapons in hand. Who wins, who loses is anybody's guess. All right, Qinyang. How did you recognize that crazy woman? Stop talking, hurry up and go. Qinyang looks grim, refuses to answer. This chubby kid is pretty cunning, and pretty sharp too. Caught the key point so quickly. If he keeps thinking, he might realize Defei is chasing after him. So the two keep running along the flat road. Only 2 or 3 miles later, they finally reach the heavenly gap they'd seen before. A pitch-black abyss below. No clue how deep it goes. They stand at the edge of the cliff, watching the river plunge into the abyss, feeling uneasy inside. Qinyang, are you sure this is it? Do you believe me, senior? Whatever you say, I believe. If you trust me, then jump.